Done. I'm not sure what I thought about this book. It was good, but it wasn't like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Or, oh, that was unexpected. I kind of like noticed every single thing. You ever do that with books where you want to read books where it's surprising? You get to the end and you're like, oh, that's surprising. But you sit there all the way through trying to figure it out for yourself. And then you get to a point where you're like, okay, I think I figured it out now. And you're always trying to second guess it. And when you do second guess it, you go, yeah, I second guessed it. But then you go, actually, it was too easy. I don't think I liked the book in the first place. But it is day 160. Wow, we're really closing in on the half a year mark, which should be by the end of this month, I reckon. What's happened so far today? We went out and we put a deposit down on a new sofa because these sofas are horrible. They're too short. They're way too short. I can't handle it. And I've fixed the surround sound to this case where I had the wrong wires plugged in, so that the front left was like that one, or something like that. They were all like weirdly, because the colour coordination on the back of this is different to the colour coordination on the back of the other one. So like I've got the red one going into the blue one, that one actually works, or something like that, something ridiculous like that. But it's fixed, so that's good. The surround sound, I'm a bit of a cynic about the surround sound. I don't think it sounds as good as the old one did. But it might be because it's new. I think it's because the old one had felt covers on. This is just like a pure speaker. So the tweeters, it seems like it's too trebly. I have to figure around with it. Damn audiophobes. I was ruined by the fact that I said audiophobes instead of audiophiles. So other than that, I've literally just been reading my book. That made an awesome noise. Oh. Which is now finished, which means I can now finally get a book for my Kindle just to read it on there. I've got every single book. Since I've got the Kindle, I need to kind of have a reason to have it, because I have every single book that I want to read. All of the series I'm reading are Dad's older books, like crime books and stuff, that they're all Dad's books really. I'm just going through all the series he's had. I actually have like an entire shelf just for books that I want to read. And Dad's asleep, so I'm going to show you quietly. And I have 3 others of those shelves, but like, we're full of books that I've already read, but they're fuller because I've already read them. I don't need easy access to them. So they're literally like expertly OCD stacked, so you can get as many on there as possible. So I've kind of got every single book that I wanted to read, so I needed to find a new series. And I went on Twitter and everything. I was going to read some of John Green's books because I've never read them. But I asked people on Twitter and they said read one of them, and it was the only one that isn't available for Kindles in the UK. So it's either read Paper Towns or start a new series. I want to start a new series because I've got all the books I want to read. So I was thinking either Paper Towns or The Hunger Games. And I don't know which. Or if there's another series that's good that I haven't read yet. I just don't know. I could read Sherlock Holmes. I really like Sherlock Holmes on TV. But obviously the books aren't going to be as good. And I'm not really a classics kind of guy. Lovely's like, oh, why don't you read this? Like Jane Eyre or something. I'm like, well, I don't have time for books. I can't be doing with reading a book and going, well, that could have been cut down to about 4 pages. Like Harry Potter, could have cut it down, to be honest with you. Could have very easily cut it down. I will read a book and go, oh, that there is a clue as to this. That's a clue as to this, but I won't go there, oh, they've made the house like that, like how you study it in English. I can't be doing with that. It's like, they made the house 3 stories for this reason. Or like really fancy, right, it bugs me. I just can't deal with it. It really gets on my nerves. I just happily ignore it. And those kind of books, it just throws it down your throat. You can't ignore that. It's like, oh, did this. And it's like deliberately trying to be all clever, and I just don't like it, to be honest with you. I just don't really like it. So, I'm assuming Sherlock Holmes isn't going to be like that though, because it's not like a classic, it's just like a classic character. It's more for the character than the book. Does that make sense? Also, now I'm the kind of guy who likes to wear red, and they look pink actually in this light, but they're not pink. Now the guy with like red trousers, I see people walk around like, that's a nice colour trouser, but they're always girls. That's really bad. I just see like, they're always girls wearing coloured jeans. I'm like, that's quite a nice colour. But I bet you full well they don't make them in male ones. Because as males, we don't have much choice when it comes to clothes. It's just this. Cliche, ballsy, boring. I've always had arguments with shops who who didn't have like an entire section just for boys. Like Next is horrific, or was horrific. When Next clothes used to fit me, I was just like, oh, there's the boys bit, this is the girls bit. It's not fair, you know? That's why I like going to places like Topshop, where it's like, Top Man is literally like its own little shop. It's just a bit too common. What am I talking about today? I'm trying to keep today's video short. It's probably not going well. So I've decided to look at a different book, not like genuinely a book, but The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is supposed to be good. All of the physics kids bully me because I haven't read that yet. And I haven't watched Star Wars as well. They're like, how can you do physics without doing this or this? Well, both of those are fiction, so why does it matter? But yeah, it's apparently supposed to be good. Anyone who's ever read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy doesn't shut up about it. So I'm going to try that. And I'm also going to try QI's The Book of General Ignorance. Because I don't think I'm in the mood for like a proper full-on book, because I'd have to stray too far away from my thingy. I don't know, they're just the two things. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy I think I'm going to read. I've just tried the sample. I'm trying the sample of both. But I'd probably end up reading The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Do you have any good books? What's your favourite book? Let's have a question for today's video. What is the favourite book you've ever read? Mine was Sacred. My favourite author is Dennis Lane. And my favourite book is probably Sacred by Dennis Lane. That's brilliant. However, my favourite put together book is Kathy's book. I make it a habit to genuinely not reread books, but this is the only book I've reread, ever. My favourite book ever is Sacred by Dennis Lane. But that's for book-like reasons. This is my favourite book. The other one was my favourite story. This is the worst story I've ever read, but it's still my favourite book, and I'll show you why. Oh, here it is. It's set up like a diary. It's Kathy's book, If Found, blah, 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 blah. It's got all diary stuff. And it's about this girl who got, if I can remember rightly, got dumped by her boyfriend, and she went to find out why and stuff. And it's set up like a diary in the extent where it's got all pictures and stuff. And this isn't really my style of book at all. But the thing I like most about it most, it's kind of like a crime mystery book. But it comes with this little leaflet here. And it's got all the evidence in. All of the evidence for all of the crimes and stuff, like, oh, I found this in blah blah blah's house, and it's in the diary, and you can look at it, you can read it. It's got websites on it and phone numbers you can actually ring and stuff. And that's brilliant. It's a shame that the story was so rubbish, because that concept there of having all the evidence and stuff there is amazing. If you could do that with another book, with something like Sherlock Holmes or something really meaty, that'd be absolutely amazing. It's just a shame the story isn't as good. But you get really immersed when you're like, I found this, and then you go in here and you find the evidence. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. The story's rubbish, but that bit there makes it. It's definitely not worth reading without that. My favourite book. What's your favourite book? My two favourite books anyway. Sacred. Lovely's got Sacred, so I can't show you that. That's just a bog standard book anyway. That's about people who keep going missing, two private detectives. Basically, look it up. It's good. Definitely worth a read. Yeah, so what are your favourite books? What I'm going to do is, I've got the samples for those two books, I'll read them later. What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to play some Modern Warfare 3, just to do some relaxing for a bit really, because I've been working too hard today so far. Hashtag sarcasm, because I haven't done any work yet. But I've got my physics book down there, so every time I die I'm going to punish myself by revising some physics. That's techniques, that is. I'm uploading, blah blah blah, computer sorted. That's everything. Scary turn of events has occurred. Everything could be possibly compromised. So if you're watching this, Tom, I'm now on to you. I know all about your scheme, but I'm about to watch Sherlock, so talk to you later. Talk to you, not later, like I'm saying goodbye to you now, but I'm gonna watch Sherlock, yeah. I've got to pause it. Let's sit out for a week. No. Holy cow, Sherlock was good. Oh, I love Sherlock. Sherlock is like the bestest thing ever. Ah, it's amazing. I'm not going to spoil it in any way, shape or form, but that was amazing. Oh, I love the Sherlock. Sherlock is like the best thing that's ever happened to anything ever. So, hello. And I'm saying hello now, at this late hour, after 12 o'clock actually, because I'm addressing some people who are potentially watching. Tom. Hopefully it's just Tom. So basically what's happened this evening since the last time I spoke to you. Blimey, I was talking about books, that was a long time ago. Basically what happened was Mother came home and then we were... Mother came home, she was doing stuff down here, and then I went upstairs and started playing Minecraft. with you, Tom. Assuming you're watching. And then I was talking to Tom about Minecraft, and I started to read a book to him because I was talking about books, since today's vlog is all about books. Started talking to him about a book, and he recommended The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, like I'm reading, or attempting to read. He recommended that. And I was reading it to him in a dramatic voice, using my microphone. Using my microphone. And then he was like, And then he just started doing some Googling, and he Googled my name. And I very skillfully hid this second half of me, this YouTube side of me. It's very skillfully hid, different emails, everything's completely separate. There are very few links between the two. Namely, the only two links are my personal channel and Sean's channel. They're the only two links. My personal channel is my personal YouTube that I watch people's videos on. It's the main one. I just subscribe to loads of people because I'm sad and I'm addicted. But then that's the only links. And then he went on, and I heard him say it. I heard you say it. And I tried to change the topic. You said, I'm just going to go on Sean's channel. And I heard him scrolling on his little scrolly mouse thing. And I was like, oh damn it, quick, change the subject. You know, your eyes on Minecraft. And you found that Sean had commented on a video of mine. And then you subscribed, Tom. To the main channel this is. That's why I'm not entirely sure that you're watching this. Which means everything's compromised. Potentially, and I know who you are, Tom, I know what you're like, potentially everyone knows by now. By the time this is uploaded, I've already endured a day of everyone knowing that I do this. To some description. I'm assuming they wouldn't have had time to watch anything, depending on how efficient you are. You're quite efficient. So, hello anyone who happens to be watching, this is my daily video diary. The main channel I have less of an explanation for. You'll have to just give me, I'll explain. Hopefully. So yeah, I was panicking earlier before Sherlock. I was like, oh my god, everything is thingy. I went onto my channel, onto the main channel, unlisted, about 7 videos of the older music videos, which are incredibly embarrassing. Just instantaneously, as soon as I saw the email, subscribe, bang, all of them privated. You cannot get to those now. Otherwise, Twitter, potentially, what's the word I use? Potentially compromised. I love the word compromised. That's a beautiful word. Yeah, so everything's potentially compromised. I put out a tweet and I'm like, oh, this could be, I need to find new secret ways. Tumblr, compromised. Google Plus, the other half of it, still hidden. It's Google Plus, it's amazing like that. Sid, will you shut up? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So yeah, tomorrow I'm especially prepared for potentially everyone to know. I've texted Lovely, warning her. She doesn't understand why I've warned her, but I've texted Lovely warning her. She'll get that in the morning. Or she'll get my reply to her reply in the morning. I was watching Sherlock, I couldn't hear it at all, my phone. I will walk into school tomorrow, because we've got school tomorrow, and yes, it's late. We'll walk into school tomorrow, perfectly prepared for the onslaught that will be at least Tom. If not, then everyone else who's potentially told by then. I'm not looking at you, Joe, and I'm looking at the entire further maths group, and by extension the normal maths group. Miss Adams? No, it wouldn't be Miss Adams, she's not that bad. Unless it is. Oh my god, this is insane. Okay, this is kind of a bad thing because it's not on my terms that someone now knows, but it is a good thing because I kind of wanted to start introducing it to people anyway, like yesterday's video. What are memories if you don't record them, or something like that? I don't freaking know. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm not going to go to sleep. I'm going to put you onto the computer. I'm then going to edit the description of yesterday's video. I'm going to probably watch some videos, and then I'll probably read a few of the sample books that I've downloaded onto my Kindle. Namely, I want to read the first bit of, probably not all tonight, but I'm starting to read the Sherlock Holmes Adventures, the original books. I'm trying to decide if they're good, and I'll read the rest of that. If not, then I've got the QI, quite interesting book, and I'll probably read that. And then I've got the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, so I've got to read the first couple of chapters to find out whether I like it. So that's what I'm going to do this evening. Tomorrow is going to be immensely nerve-wracking, so for that, I'll catch you later.